Hello everyone, and welcome to my week 7 progress report. I can't believe we're almost at the end of our 8-week challenge. It has been an absolute crazy start to the year. Between welcoming a whole bunch of new members into 23W, becoming a second-time mum, getting back to work myself, and the myriad of social events that I've had on, I feel like the last 8 weeks has gone so unbelievably quick. Having said all that, each week we have been focusing in on one habit that we think is really important to help drive change. This week, our focus is on finding fun and joy. So I can definitely say I had a lot of fun this weekend. I was out of town celebrating a really good friend's wedding, and it was filled with lots of great food, wine, dancing, people. It was a really good time. But in coming back to Melbourne, I definitely am noticing I'm a little bit low energy today, and I have been all week. And I have really struggled through a lot of my workouts. And I know that this is something that a lot of you guys battle with too, so I thought I would spend a little bit of time talking about that and just allaying any worries or concerns that if you're finding that one week is harder than another, that is okay and it is perfectly normal. There are sort of 3 ways that we can motivate ourselves to be actioning the things that will actually help drive change. And I've spoken a lot in previous videos that if you actually don't change your behaviors, you won't see the change in your body composition. So it is really important that you stay focused and consistent over a period of time, enough time to actually see the change. And when it comes to actually motivating ourselves to be actioning the things we need to do, there are a couple of ways that I see people going about this. The first way is by implementing the mean girl approach. And this is something I see a lot with people when they're first starting their journey. And I definitely was in this camp where you are there blaming or sort of yelling at yourself, a lot of negative talk about why you must do things. And when you fail or when you don't meet the expectations you have of yourself, you can end up falling into a mindset that is quite negative and it's not filled with a lot of confidence moving forward. In actual fact, it actually leaves you feeling pretty hopeless about the situation. You're there left wondering why you can't do things, and then you think, oh, maybe I need to push harder, I need to restrict further, or maybe that I'm just not one of those people that can actually do the thing, whatever that might be. It's really important that you recognize that negative self-talk and you try and stop it. And at the end of the day, you've got to be making sure that the way you're debriefing your week and the things that need to happen, that actually leads to some sort of positive outcome. The other way that we see some people trying to motivate themselves is by being really self-compassionate. And self-compassion is really important because sometimes there are situations and scenarios that are way beyond your control, and it's important we don't sit there and beat ourselves up if we miss a workout or we sleep in because we're tired or because there's a lot going on, that we recognize that and we go, you know what, tomorrow's another day, we can do this, and off we go. However, self-compassion alone can be problematic because it also can mean that you let yourself off the hook a lot of times too. So what I'd much prefer to implement, and this is what I implement with myself, is more a little bit of a tough love approach. And I guess tough love means sitting back and recognizing that, yes, I am tired. It's been a big week, but what are the things that I can actually do rather than just getting caught up on my own BS and the stories that I might tell myself as to why I can't be actioning certain things. So approaching your week with a bit of tough love might be, okay, you're tired today, that's okay. let's have a rest, and tomorrow you're going to be hitting your workout. And implementing that never miss it twice approach, making sure that workout actually happens. Or recognizing that you're tired and saying, you know what, I am going to go to the gym today. I'm going to take it easy and I'm going to focus in on some mobility work. And then when my energy returns, I'm going to be ready to smash it. So it is really important that you actually stop and think about your mindset and see which camp you mostly sit in. And as I said, it's okay to sometimes go more into that self-compassion camp, but at some point you do need to pull yourself up and say, you know what, the goals that I've set for myself are really important. And that does mean at times I'm going to be facing periods of discomfort. And I'm not going to want to do the things that will actually lead to long-term change. But if I do those things now, that might actually help on the other end and give me more confidence and a greater capacity to change. And it is about taking baby steps along the way. So when it comes to looking at my week, there are a few things that I do to be making sure I'm implementing that tough love approach. The first thing I do is I do a little bit of pre-planning. So if I've got a big weekend, I make sure I front load as much stuff before I go away that will actually help me out. So things like making sure the house is in order, things are clean. I make sure that maybe I'm ahead on my workouts. And that way when I'm coming back, I don't feel like I'm starting as far back or as far behind as what I potentially could be. The next thing I do is that I make sure that I've always got some food in the freezer so that my default food is at least a healthy home cooked meal, something that I can quickly pull out, put in the fridge, put in the microwave or put in the oven, and then that way both me and my family have something really good to eat. I also utilize like shopping online. So coming back on Sunday, I was there on the Woolies app, reordering food that I know would actually help me start my week off really well. And then lastly, I plan out my week. I pull out my diary, I schedule things in, and I do break up my meal prep. So if you do follow me on Instagram, you see the foods that I'm cooking, I generally actually prep that over a couple of different times of the day. So I might cook protein when I'm there having breakfast with Sky, and then I'll finish putting the rest of it together later on. So I try and get really time efficient in the kitchen so I'm not there slaving away. I'm making the most of the time that I do have. So I hope that a few little tips have actually helped you out this week. When it comes to my own goals, I think I'm gonna get pretty close to that 4% drop in body fat. I might come a little bit shy of that, but we'll see. I can say that I was able to fit into my favorite jeans this weekend. So big tick there. They were a little tight, but that's okay. They are going to only get more and more comfortable. And then when it comes to my muscle up, I have been a little bit short on time for my training. So a lot of my muscle up progressions have just not been happening. And look, possibly the goal was just a little bit too ambitious to start off with, who knows? But I am really struggling to be able to hold that false grip position without overloading too much through my wrist. So we'll see how we go. I'll definitely feel myself attempting a muscle up next week. We'll see how that all goes together. But look, I do feel like I'm mostly on track. And even if I come a little bit shy of the goals that I set for myself, having mapped out my 8-week challenge, I do feel like I've made some really great progress moving forward. So now is the time to finish off the challenge with a bang. We've got 10 days left together. So keep focusing in on your daily habits, water, steps, exercise, eating slowly, all those things, the things that you think you might actually need. And I can't wait to report back to you in the final week of our challenge and then finally let you know how I've gotten on. If you've got any questions, make sure you sing out, and I can't wait to speak to you soon. Bye.